Actually, we're going to begin. Hi, everyone. We're going to call this meeting to order today, 6:31 p.m. I'm going to kick it over to my co-chair, Eric, who will do the welcomes agenda and then the first presentation.
Thank you, Arnella. Good evening, everyone. My name is Eric Gost. Welcome to the Youth Services Education Libraries meeting, CB14. Hope everybody's having a good day and your sidewalks are a little cleaner than yesterday. The agenda tonight was packed. We're excited the SCA is presenting on a new school edition at PSK 134. So they'll be kicking us off. We're going to go over volunteer assignment plans for the 19th annual Youth Resource Fair, which is next week at the YMCA on March 11th, 3:30 to 6:30. So we'll be talking about volunteer roles and going over our plans, and then afterwards we have two presentations from two different charter schools, the Quinda Collegiate Girls Charter School and Brooklyn Dreams, and so we'll hear a bit about the opportunities there, which are part of our community. So packed agenda, looking forward to hearing from everybody, and I think without further ado, we'll pass it off to SCA for your presentation. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Community Board 14. I appreciate your patience during my technical difficulties. My name is Erica Porter, and I work within the External Affairs Department with the New York City School Construction Authority. And this evening, I am here to present. I support your community board and your school District 22. And this evening, I am here to present a SCA update as opposed to a site selection for a new primary school that we are building, new primary addition that we're building at PS 134. Okay, so we are required to present to CECs and community boards prior to us putting a shovel in the ground. So that is why I'm here this evening. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go through the presentation.
While Erica is doing that, I'm going to jump in and introduce myself. I'm the Director of External Affairs at the SCA. I support Erica. And Sean, we've known each other way too long for you to call me Miss Nice. It's Yvette.
So now, thank you, Yvette. I apologize for not introducing you. So now I'm going to share my screen. It says connecting on my side. Can everyone see my screen? Can everyone see this?
Yeah, there's a plus button. Maybe you could touch that to enlarge it. I don't.
Okay, let me see here.
No, it's not getting any bigger.
Okay, let me try one more thing. Can you not see it at all?
No, we can see it.
It's just small.
It's
you're not doing the full screen share, and I'm always on this end of the presentation.
Can you see this now?
Yes.
All right, I found it. Okay.
That's a lot better. Yeah.
Okay. So this evening we have an SCA update on PSK 134 edition, and the address for that particular edition is 205 Webster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York 11230. So the School Construction Authority's mission is to design and construct safe, attractive, environmentally sound public schools for the children throughout the many communities of New York City. We are dedicated to building and modernizing schools in a responsible, cost-effective manner while achieving the highest standards of excellence in safety, quality, and integrity. So here we have an aerial view of the PSK 134 edition, 205 Webster Avenue. Where you see the blue square, that is where the mini building is located. That mini building is where the new addition will be. So we'll demo this building, and then we're going to build a new addition at this square. And you can see PS 134 is right in front of it. So the new addition to 134 will be behind it on Webster Avenue. And here is a street view of the same building, K134, 205 Webster Avenue. You see 18th Avenue is around the corner, and the entrance will be on Webster Avenue. And then you have Ocean Parkway as one of the main arteries or throughways that is near the school. PSK 134 addition. This new building will be constructed to serve as the addition to PS 134K. The building will have 372 seats. The building will be fully accessible, air-conditioned, state-of-the-art facility. Now, here's the timeline. The design process is starting. This phase is approximately 12 months. The bid and award phase will follow, with a duration of 3 to 4 months for that duration. Construction of the new addition will take approximately 24 to 36 months, and we anticipate the addition will be open for occupancy in September of 2030. And that's the presentation. Thank you. Comments and questions can be directed to Erica Porter, External Affairs. That's my email address and my telephone number. And if you have any questions for the Department of Education, you can contact Eric Herman with the email address eherman2@schools.nyc.gov. So now I'll stop sharing my screen. That was the presentation. Do you have any questions?
Thank you very much for that presentation. In terms of expediency, that was very well done, guys.
Thank you.
I don't know, questions, board member questions at this time. Board members, if you can raise your hand. I'm scrolling through. I'll ask one question here. And again, thank you guys for coming and making the rounds in our district and at the CEC. As the school goes through the different phases, through the planning phase, through the construction phase, will you guys be returning for updates to let us know? Is that part of your plan or requirements?
Yvette may be able to provide more feedback on that.
Sure. So as we indicated, we're in the process now of our design. And, we work very closely with the school community, the principals, and the superintendent. And when we have completed our design and we need to put a shovel in the ground and to start our construction, we will notify the community board at that time. But just to set the expectation, that probably won't be for another 9 to 12 months.
Thank you, Yvette.
And so at District 22, so you're in touch with Ms. Beauvais' office directly?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. We meet with her
monthly.
Almost like monthly. Sometimes it feels like every 2 weeks. So absolutely in touch with
Yes.
Superintendent Beauvais.
She's
yes.
very involved in this project. She advocates for her school district
Yes.
100%. So she is
Yes.
aware that this school addition is in the works. We've met
Yeah.
with her about it, and the principal of the school is aware that the school will be receiving an addition as well. So Superintendent Beauvais has been very active and involved with all products in school district 22, but definitely K134.
A major advocate here for this site.
Yes, for sure.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Ornella's hand was up, and then me.
Thank you guys. That was the speediest, efficient presentation I've ever seen. So I'm happy your mic started working, Erica. To your point, I was on the CEC meeting and the superintendent did mention that this was happening. So you're correct. She's a huge advocate for this.
Yes.
I just had a clarifying question around the location for the addition. I know behind PS 134, behind the playground, there's like classrooms there. Is this replacing that, or is this? Yeah. Okay.
That mini building will be demolished, and that's where we're going to build the addition.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'd like to know, how many floors will the addition be? How many stories high?
So we do not have a design at the
design?
moment. No design at the moment, because the design is currently in process.
But it will be 372 seats.
Yes.
And so what's the square footage on the lot that it's going on now?
I do not have that information at the
I
time.
don't have the square footage.
Okay,
no.
back in
But I do know there's no D75 component to the school.
And so is it's an extension of 134. It's not an additional school. So is it lower classes, upper classes? Is that how it's going to be divided in terms of usage?
It should be
It's really
for the
just to
same
expand
grades.
the school because, to accommodate for any overutilization currently at that
Right.
school and maybe any nearby schools.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then
And it's considered an addition, right, Erica? Not
An addition. Right. It's not
It's
an
an
annex. It's an addition to the
it's an addition.
pre-existing school building.
Yeah.
So in terms of any busing, bus drop-offs,
Mhm.
they'll still be using 18th Avenue. There won't be bus access on Webster, or is that also a matter of how it's designed?
Right, that would be discussed, I guess, with the DOE would do that. Yvette?
Okay, don't do that.
No,
Don't put buses on Webster.
no.
Do that.
There's a Department of Transportation. Well, there's a transportation division at the DOE, and we've probably done an analysis already, but as we move forward closer to 2030, there will be a decision. But it looks likely now that there may be a drop off on
Mhm.
Webster,
The
but
entrance
I
is on
think that will
Webster.
be finalized later on.
Okay,
Yes.
well then we'll loop in the 70th Police Precinct when that time comes, because that will be there's a lot of competition for road space due to their vehicles as well. And
Yeah.
and the many, there's a large concentration of independent schools
Okay.
in that elbow, I call it the elbow of our district. And then finally, I promised last question. From about 2021 to 2023, we were in close contact regarding this school, given the community and the parents' advocacy for an improved playground. Is that in this design? Was that ever addressed?
But that particular building.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't speak to the details of the design right now. I can't say yes or nay, but I can't imagine we're gonna put a new building there and then there
Without
be
a
a
playground.
crappy playground. Just I
Okay.
can't, and also I can't imagine us going to a principal and her going, let's keep the crappy playground. But in terms of details and specifics, we really don't have that right now.
Okay, understood. We might just send I'll send some of the background, the exchanges from the past years just as a marker. So as this move
Okay.
forward, it's in your record of community input and previously expressed concern. Thanks. I promised that was the
Absolutely
last.
appreciate that. Shoulder. But I'm gonna, like Eric and I are invited to these design things, and
Yes.
trust me, we are going to
We'll look
absolutely
out for that. I'll
pay
look out for
attention
that
to that.
question about the playground and how many
Playground.
floors. So I'll
Yeah,
look out for that question. Okay. And you have my contact information,
yeah.
Ms. Campbell. So if you have any questions,
Mhm.
Community Board 14, please feel free to send me an email. And the deck was sent to the BK14 email address, and I did receive a response of thank you. So it was received.
Okay.
Okay.
I had one
Uh,
follow-up question,
mhm.
Erica, if that's okay, to the
Sure.
question. I think you guys mentioned that they're gonna demolish that, like, current what's there right
Hmm.
now,
Hmm.
and then build a permanent building.
Hmm.
Because 134 is overutilized, at least to my knowledge, and because of like the shift in the class sizes, what happens to the students that are in that space during the building creation
Oh,
time,
during
I
the
guess? Yeah.
That's a very good question. And, it could be that they'll try to relocate them to another building. That's I really don't know for sure. I
Yeah.
really don't know for sure. I have
I wrote it
to,
down. I wrote it
yeah,
down.
we'll find
I
out.
have it.
And
Thank
Superintendent Beauvais is probably best person, but we'll touch base with her.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Okay,
Not a
sure.
problem.
And Eric, I had my hand raised. Can,
Oh,
can I ask a question?
Go
sure.
ahead. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Ornella, for asking that. That was actually going to be my question too about the interim period between the demolition of the building that you showed, which I figured is about 2027 based on the timeline, and then the full occupancy of the 372 seats. As you may well know, District 22 in Brooklyn has the worst class size compliance in the whole borough,
Mm.
and is in the bottom three in the whole city for class size compliance. We have the biggest classes already. So I just would like to bring to SEA's attention that when we're thinking about where these students can go for
Mhm.
this interim period, we already have classes that have 30, 31, 32, 33 kids in it, which under the new class size law need to have 20 kids in them.
Okay.
So flagging that and echoing Ornella's question about the plan for it, because several of the neighboring schools are beyond capacity.
Okay.
You know, I appreciate that sentiment, and I understand about what's kind of happening in the district. We're really trying to solve it with this. So, you know, with this new edition, and we're all over 22 in
Yes.
terms of where we can add, do additions, where we can put annexes. And for now, it could mean, you know, a little pain or a little inconvenience for now until we do answer that bigger goal.
Right.
But as we said, I know superintendent is very well aware, and you know, I know you and I know she's a planner. You and I know she's a planner, so we're going to reach out to her
Yes.
and mention to her, you know, these concerns. And
Right.
very, very well noted. You're
Yes.
absolutely right.
And we also do room conversions in schools where we can to assist with class size reduction as well. So that's another avenue that we take to get
There's
schools to
something that came
comply
up
with.
in the chat. I just saw
Let's see.
something flash.
It says a request for seats is in our district needs statement. We've been seen as a district in need for over a decade. I have not been able to get this statement updated in the past few years.
That's
And
all
this-
part of our Community Board 14's district needs statement that gets submitted to the city, and then we
Okay.
just recently got our responses to our budget priorities, and I'll share out what we got on our district needs statement. It wasn't very responsive, so we'll follow up with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions from board members? It turns out I can't really see the hands that well, so you can also just
Yeah, I
speak
don't
up.
see any hands there, but I don't know if anybody else have any questions.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Yvette, Erica. It was nice to host you tonight, and
Thank you.
we look forward to hearing from you and as the process continues. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys-
Thank you for having us. Good night.
Good
Have
night.
a good night and have a great meeting.
Yeah.
Take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you both. So now I have to follow Erica's speedy presentation with mine.
I apologize if I was too quick. I'm sorry.
No, it was very efficient. It was to the point.
Goldie, I think Goldilocks, just right.
Yes, just right.
Thank you very much.
But
Enjoy
with
your
that
weekend.
being said,
I'm
thank
signing
you, Erica.
off.
Later.
Okay. Take care.
All right. We're gonna pivot now to quickly talk through the volunteer assignments for the Youth Resource Fair. So I'm just gonna quickly share my screen. I'll give me 1 second. Nope. Window. Chrome tab. Okay, there we go. Are you guys seeing the presentation? Okay, cool. All right, y'all. So just wanted to give y'all an update. So for this year, we're gonna do point of contacts, split into 2 co-chairs. I will be responsible for the volunteers. I'm the picture to the right. And then Eric, I promise Eric is the person at the bottom of that picture, not the one at the top. Eric will be responsible for our organizations. He'll be the point of contact for them. So that's just information. I just want to make sure everybody who's going to be there is aware of that. So you know who to go to for different things. So volunteers will be coming to me. I'll go through the slides around your roles and responsibilities in a second. And then Eric will be the point of contact for our organizations that will be a part of our Youth Resource Fair. Before we move on, I just wanted to say are we still 6 days away? Yes, we are 6 days away. So next week, Wednesday, our Youth Resource Fair will be live and direct from the YMCA. So we want to make sure all of our volunteers felt clear on what their roles are and what they'll be responsible for. Let's just jump into it then. All right, so I'm gonna go in sequential order of the volunteer task. First is setup. If you're looking at the screen, you're going to see responsibilities on the left, and then on the right are those who signed up to be volunteers for that role. So for setup, you're responsible for helping with the event. We ask that you arrive at 1 because we want to make sure all hands are on deck so that we can get all the tables out. We have more than 60 organizations who have signed up. So we have to make sure all those tables are set up, ready to go. And then we also need to make sure that we put up signage around, make sure the registration welcome table is set up, and then set up the snack table. And last but not least, put up our banner on the wall. So that is going to require everyone who signs up to be there on time and ready to go. So for those that are volunteers on the right, just wanted to leave space really quick for any questions around setup or anything that comes to mind right now before we move on to the next task. Yes, Sasha said I'm gonna be there at 1. That's what I like to hear. Perfect. And then if you did not sign up already, you are more than welcome to join us at 1. There's still time to sign up. The office sent out a reminder again this week, so just check your emails. If not, you can also just reach out to me directly and I'll get you on the form link. All right, seeing no questions for setup, I'm going to keep it moving, y'all. All right, following setup, the next time block for volunteering is the registration welcome table. This is going to be broken up into 2 windows. The first is from 2:30 to 3:30, which is going to be the bulk of the that table's responsibility, is to get our organizations in, confirm who they are, make sure that they go to their table, bring back their Post-its for whichever table they select to you. And after 3:30, once at that point, almost all organizations should be there because the office communicated really clearly with them their arrival time. We are going to, of course, have some late arrivals. We'll talk about what that looks like after. But after 3:30, that is going to shift from being like a welcome in registration table to more of a information table, because we will have youth participants in starting at 3:30, and they'll be able to come ask questions for that table. And then also the last thing is just getting some feedback from participants, youth participants, as they're leaving. So something to note here is we have 4 people assigned to that table. They're going to be there at 2:30 till 3:30. And then around 3:30-ish, depending on when the slowdown of organizations come in, we are going to ask that the people at that table start to rotate. And you're going to support with like greeting, going around, just supporting the space. And for those that are part of that, we will say like maybe 2 at a time, walk, like leave that space, come back. And you guys, I trust you as an adult to decide amongst yourself, like who wants to do what, when you want to leave. But the reason it's important that after 3:30 that you guys start supporting greeting is because the greeters are positioned at different places, and we don't want them to be there from 3:30 to 6:30 standing for 3 hours, not being able to interact with the event. So we are going to ask you guys to support as floaters in that way. So I'm going to pause there for registration welcome. If you are a volunteer for that, if you have any questions, please ask now. Any concerns, anything that this created for you guys. All right. My slides must be the most like clear slides I've ever made in my life because there are no questions. All right. We're going to keep it pushing. All right, greeters. So greeting is obviously, the purpose of it is to welcome and direct participants to the main event space. The Y when you come in is on the first floor. Our event is going to take place on the second floor gym. So we're going to need first floor greeters and second floor greeters. If you are a first floor greeter, your job is to direct our participants up the stairs. When they walk in, the stairs is right in front of you. So you're going to be standing in the hallway by the YMCA, in front of the YMCA welcome desk, and you're just going to direct them up the stairs. It's important that you do that because the YMCA normally has a sign-in procedure, and we don't want them signing in if they're attending our event. So if they're coming in and you ask them, hey, are you here for the youth resource fair? And they say yes, just direct them upstairs and let them know they don't have to sign in at the YMCA desk. And then if you're on the second floor, once they come up the stairs, you will be standing right at the top of the stairs to direct them to the gym, which is a few steps away from the staircase. It can be hard to find if you are coming up alone and no one's there. And then the other big thing for the second floor greeters is as they're coming up, ask participants and encourage them to sign up for a mock interview. The mock interview room is also on the second floor. So you will point them in the direction of mock interview room. They'll walk over there. There'll be somebody in there. And they'll just encourage them, like, sign up. It's a great opportunity. There are people here to help you with this. And then the last thing is we'll hand you a bunch of scavenger hunts. I should have showed y'all a picture. My bad, y'all. But we created these scavenger hunts based on the organizations that are participating. So when youth are coming up, it'll be nice for you just hand it to them, and important to inform them that they could start anywhere in the gym. This was feedback from years before. A lot of times, I guess it's just how the human brain works. When you walk into space, you kind of want to go sequential order. They don't have to go sequential order. So encourage them like, hey, when you walk in the gym, you don't have to stop at the registration desk. Please start wherever you feel most comfortable within the gym, so that we don't get that bottleneck of like 50, 30 students walking in and just all stopping in the entryway. And then a note for volunteers, you are assigned based on floor, but the same thing here. It will start off with 2 people in both places, but the goal is once it starts slowing down, that it moves to 1 and that there's a rotation. No one should be there from 3:30 all the way to 6:30 without a break. So the people from the welcome desk, this is where you come in. Please support the greeters in getting them a break. And then I would just put this out there. If you're someone who's like, yeah, I actually don't care, I want to be here the whole time, I'm not forcing you to leave, but I'm giving you the option to be able to, if you would like a break, to walk away. Any questions on the greeters role? All right. I'm not seeing any unless I'm missing them. Okay. No, I don't.
Hi,
There you
Onella.
go. Florencia.
Question. So, will we be given a flyer, a sheet, a card with these assignments on them, or are we just all brilliant to remember from the slide? Just asking.
That is a good question. I could go above and beyond, and on Monday during our board meeting, please make sure everyone is there. I can hand you guys cards with your assignments.
Do that. We'll prepare a
I feel like I hear
thing.
Sarah's voice. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no, you don't have to remember this. We will prepare this information so that when you arrive at the event on Wednesday, it will all be laid out for you.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sarah.
Ornella just made a pretty PowerPoint.
Yeah. I'm a visual learner, y'all, so that's always my go-to. So bear with me. Any other questions around greeters or anything so far up to this point?
You're pretty clear. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you, guys. All right, let's keep moving. Snack table. So we need someone there. As you guys know, this year we are going to have, in support of those that are observing Ramadan, we're going to have iftar boxes along with the typical snacks that we normally will have. So just need someone there to ensure the snack table is orderly throughout the event. Yay, Sasha, I got you. All right, so I was going to say we need a volunteer, but Sasha jumped on it before it was even asked. So haha, y'all lost. She won. So Sasha, that's all yours. And then just making sure the table is replenished as needed. And we are gonna keep it moving from there. All right, mock interviews. Woo, the fun part. So mock interviews are gonna start at 4 p.m. The event starts at 3:30, but we're giving it like a 30-minute window to get people in, like comfortable moving around the space, and then the interviews will start at 4. Interviews are typically 20 minutes with individuals. They'll conduct the interview. There's a like mock interview script that the interviewer will get. Okay. And then based on what Florencia, I think Florencia, you gave this feedback when we were talking. Working on the checklist of like just to give youth after the interview of things they can work on beyond just the interview. So we have mock interviewers. We always need more. So if you haven't signed up for a mock interview and you are eager and willing to support our youth, practice this really important skill, we can use you. In addition to the mock interviewers, we also need a volunteer that will be room management. So while the mock interviewers are working with our youth, we do need someone to assist youth when they come in the room to sign up. for the mock interview, and then also providing the script to the people that are doing the interview. So if you haven't signed up for a role and you're on this call and willing to be part of room management in the mock interview room, would greatly appreciate that support. I will ask again on Monday for those that are not here. Cassandra, I heard you on mute, but I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry if I missed it.
Yes. The question was regarding because I'm a greeting downstairs and then doing mock interviews. Are we gonna do like a text or something to let us know when we would need to do this mock interview or if we have somebody?
Yeah, so the way it'll work, Cassandra, is when you are like basically off doing the greeting, you will just show up to the mock interview room and you will be assigned students as they sign up for the mock interview. So it's not like you are designated a specific time. Is when you are able to make it to the room, and however amount of time you're able to allocate towards that.
Okay, thanks.
Of course. And we'll make sure, since you're doing both, that you get prepped out to be able to do the mock interview. All right. Seeing no more questions. Seeing no more questions, we're gonna keep it moving. Last thing is breakdown. Breakdown is from 6:30 to 7:30. It's exactly what it says. We're helping to break down the event. So we're gonna break down the tables, chairs, break down the registration table, take down everything we set up. We're gonna take back down, make sure the space is left beautiful because it was given to us beautifully. We currently have 5 people signed up to volunteer. So I would just always encourage, if you are at the event and you haven't signed up, it's always all hands on deck situation. The more people have, the faster we can break down and leave the space. So if you are able and willing to help with breakdown the day off and you haven't signed up yet, we would love your help and your support, because we have the greatest board ever and greatest volunteers. So if we ask you that on the day off, that is why. Just putting that out there. Any questions on breakdown? Yeah, I think it's very straightforward, y'all. All right. Last thing that we wanted to note for y'all, we talked about, for those that are at the registrations table, most of the organizations should arrive before 3:30 because it was communicated to them arrival time and setup time. But as you guys know, there are always situations where that might not happen. Things happen. So this year we already have over 60 organizations registered. But it's always a possibility also that unregistered organizations may show up because this is our 19th year doing it. They might have thought they're registers. They probably didn't. They're accustomed to coming. So the shift in that, and Eric will be, again, is the lead for the organizations. If an organization comes that is late or unregistered, just connect with Eric. He'll communicate with them directly. But we want to make sure you guys were aware of the policy. They're welcome to participate, but they'll just need to find an organization to share a table with, and that the onus is on them to do so. But for those that are on the call as volunteers, just connect with Eric, as he's the point of contact for all of our organizations on the day of the event. All right, y'all. That is it. Yep, go ahead, Florencia.
I just wanted to say that was a great point you made, because I went to the 6-7 precinct council meeting, and I made the announcement, and there's someone who always attends the meeting, and he was so glad that I was there because he said he totally forgot, and it's earlier this year, so he was in a different headspace. So yeah, reminders are good, so I get that. Great point you just made.
And to your point, Florencia, the more organizations that are there as resources to our youth, the better. We just want to make sure we have a way to still make the process smooth. So that's our way of still welcoming them, but making sure that there's a plan for them when they do come, or if they come.
Okay.
All right. So that was it for volunteering. I'm going to just leave a little bit of space for any questions before we move on to the next agenda item. And then the only other thing I would just point out is just please be on time. Come a couple minutes earlier to whatever time your assignment or task is set for. So 1 p.m. for those that are setting up is really crucial so that we have ample amount of time to set up. 2:30 for those that are at the welcome table. Before 3:30 for those that are greeters, and everything following will be greatly appreciated. We know things happen, so just communicate with the office if anything pops up. And yes, Sarah, wear comfy shoes. I will be in sneakers that day, so that it'll be a lot of moving around, a lot on your feet. And then if anything pops up, just let the office know. You guys know we're more than happy to work with you, figure it out. But just communicate so that we can plan ahead for anything that comes up. Thank you, Elaine. All right. I'm not seeing any questions. I don't want to hold us because we are already at 7:06. So I'm going to now pivot us to the next agenda item. So we have two. What just happened? Okay. My computer just did something weird. We have two presentations from two charter schools within our district. Many of you probably seen them at our monthly board meetings, but they wanted to come and share, because we are in recruitment season, a little more about their programs that that is not always possible to do within the 3 minutes that's allocated during our meetings. So we are going to start off with Kawenda. Did I pronounce that right? Okay, perfect. Kwenda. So we have Brenda Acosta from Kwenda who will start. Brenda, we're going to do 10 minutes and then leave like 5 minutes for questions, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's more than enough time. Let
Perfect.
me see. I want to share my screen.
You should have ability at the bottom.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. All right, can you guys see that okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. And then I'll try to do present here. Okay. So thank you, Ornella, for giving me this space. My name is Brenda Costa, and I am the Associate Director of Operations at Cuenda Collegiate Girls Charter School. Let me see. This is what our team looks like. This is
I'm not sure if this is for anyone else. Brenda, your screen looks blank on our end, but I knew the presentation is there because we saw it before you hit present.
okay.
Is that happening for anyone else? Yeah,
Can-
okay. Seems like other people are seeing a white screen.
Okay. I think when I click present, it disappears. Let me see.
Yeah.
All right, can you see it now?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll just stay here. This is our school founder, Miss Christina E. Perry. So Christina decided to open up an all-girls elementary school in Flatbush because there's no other tuition-free all-girls school in the community. And so we wanted to be able to offer that to families. We also know that Flatbush has a lot of families from the Caribbean that do prefer single sets schools. So again, we just wanted to have an alternative in the community. And then we also have Miss Ria, who is our Dean of Curriculum and Instruction. So she acts as our principal. And then if you ever see Deandra in the communities, she's our Family and Community Operations Associate. So you can see her at community events, daycares, near schools, things like that. This is our mission. So we reimagine schooling so that all girls have access to an excellent education that empowers them to lead self-determined lives full of promise, wonder, and ease. These are our values. So we have curiosity, community, courage, compassion, and controlling your own destiny. And I always like to say that I like controlling your own destiny the most. I think for me, coming from a Hispanic immigrant family, attending college and then getting a graduate degree, that wasn't really the expectation. The expectation was, you get married, you have children, and back home, I'm from the Dominican Republic, a lot of younger women, and there are a lot of teen moms as well. So there's that, background that I come from. So I think with Kwenda, we want to teach girls that they can decide to do whatever they want in life. And we also have college in mind from kindergarten. And this is what makes us different. So we really value creative play. We believe that for the little ones, especially, they need a lot of breaks during the day. They need space to move, and that we believe that they learn by moving and exploring what's around them. We're also focused on literacy, so we want our girls to be really strong in reading and writing. We're also focused on STEAM, and we'll have a maker space in our building, which is a space where girls can, work with their own hands and create different things. And last but certainly not least, we are focused on gender justice, so we believe in equity for girls. And again, you might be wondering why an all-girls school. So the research says that girls who attend all-girls schools are more likely to major in math, science, and technology compared to girls that attend traditional schools. And then it also says that girls who attend all-girls schools have higher rates of admission to college and also to graduate education, including doctoral programs. So if you can think of, our school, everywhere that a girl looks, there's another girl doing math, another girl doing science. When she looks at, the staff, the teachers, there's a woman teaching, there's a woman in administration. So all around them, there's somebody that looks like them doing what they would want to do in life. This is our location. So we are at 2520 Church Avenue. This is between Erasmus and Bedford. We're close to the 2 and the 5 train. We also have transportation free of charge available to families. This is our school day, so 7:45 to 3:30 every single day. And then we also have early arrival at 7:15, as well as after school from 3:30 to 6 p.m. every single day. That's also free of charge. And our after school is focused on STEAM. So we really want to provide that flexibility for families who have a long workday. So their daughter can be at our school all the way from 7:15 a.m. until 6 p.m. if that's what they need. This is what our uniform looks like, and for any families who register early and then for any family that needs it, the uniform can be 100% free. Something really exciting about Cuenda that I'm always really proud to talk about is our partnership with Changemakers. So this is a nonprofit organization that makes items in Togo and West Africa. So they employ single mothers to work there, and they literally make everything by hand. So the jacket that you see here, the dye for the jacket, they made it themselves, which I think is really special. And this is called a joyful jacket. So we will have these items for families that want to purchase them and that want to wear them to show some Kwenda pride. Kwenda means to go in Swahili, and so this is a nod to our name. With school foods, we provide anything that you can think of. So free breakfast, lunch, a snack during the day, and then a snack during after school as well. We provide, of course, a menu so families know ahead of time what's going to be served. Our school foods comes from a private vendor, so all of the foods that we get are fresh, and we get to decide what to serve every single day as well. What I really want to leave you with today is this event that we have coming up on March 14th. It's going to be from 12 to 2:30 p.m. at 1120 Washington Avenue on the second floor. We are going to have free toys for girls. We're going to have arts and crafts, face painting, and a DJ for children. So this is free and open to families. We had one of these events about 2 months ago. It was very successful. Families had a really great time. So if anybody wants to register, we still have tickets. And I say tickets, but it's free. You can sign up at quendaschools.org /events. And last but not least, our application closes on March 31st. We have seats open for kindergarten and first grade. So if you know any families in Flatbush or near Flatbush that is looking for a school for their girl, you can definitely pass on the information. we have a lottery system, meaning that everybody applies by March 31st, and then on April 1st, we send out our admissions offers. Our lottery is random. However, it does prioritize families that live in Flatbush. And this is our social media, so Aquenda Collegiate Girls. You can always email us at joy@quendaschools.org. And here is our number. Through this number, you can always give us a call, but if it's outside of the workday, you can always send a text message, and then a staff member will get back to you. We are also looking for teachers for the next school year. If you know an educator that's looking for a new school, we have also had people send emails for security guard positions, custodian positions. I always review all resumes, and those other positions we might also need. So if you know anybody just looking for a new opportunity in the community, we are open to that as well. And with that, I'll open it up for any questions that you may have about Kwanda.
Thank you, Brenda. At this point, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to raise your hand, and we will get your question answered. Not seeing any questions, but I did want to say, love the work you guys are doing in the community and the intentionality around your mission. And I'm looking forward to your March 14 event.
Thank you. We hope to see many, many of you there.
All right. Thank you, Brenda. We are going to keep it moving. We have one more charter school within our amazing district. We have Kadeem Phillip from Brooklyn Dreams Charter School. Kadeem, you have same 10 minutes with 5 minutes questions as needed, okay?
Okay, got it. Give me 1 second. Let me share. Okay. Can everyone see?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So, hello everyone. My name is Kadeem Phillip. I am the parent ambassador for Brooklyn Dreams Charter School. As the parent ambassador, I pretty much do work as what would be a regular admissions representative, but also I am like the parent liaison. I try to contact very much all the parents who are applying, all the parents who are already registered or enrolled in our school, and just I am the touch base in regards to anything that needs to get voiced to the principals or anyone in that nature. So nice to meet everyone here. You've probably seen me, as they've mentioned before, at a few of the past community board meetings. Now, we are a tuition-free charter school. We do follow DOE's usual schedule and also many of the same requirements in regards to any type of health, safety regulations, usually curriculums, and also days off. We follow all of it as well. Our school is really under what's called National Heritage Academies, which is an organization that was founded in 1995 in Michigan. We have about 3 schools right now in Brooklyn. We have Brooklyn Dreams Charter School. We have Brooklyn Excelsior and Brooklyn Scholars. We do have another school in Queens called Riverton. So those are the 4 schools that we have in the New York City area. But right now we're all in 9 states. We have about 100 schools, and in regards to we are aiming to get close to about 70,000 students in total. Something that we're very important about is what we have called our moral focus, having connections with the parents, as well as our, academic rigor, as well as, making sure that the students are responsible for their work and helping them as best as we can. We
Brandon,
have,
Can you put this in the garbage?
Cassandra, I think you're unmuted, love.
okay. So we have been open since about fall of 2010. So we have been located at 259 Parkville Avenue for going on 26 years. We have from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. And we're actually not too far from where SCA was talking about opening the school there on Webster Avenue. We are right in between Ocean Parkway and Coney Island Avenue. It's a little school, so it can be something that you pass by there, but once you see it, you won't miss it. This is our Principal Rockman. She has actually started off as a teacher in the school and worked her way up to being a dean, and now she is our principal. She was previously the dean of kindergarten to second grade, and now this has been her first full year as the principal. These are our deans. Will Hughes, Lauren Flo, and Dean Miranda Bodie. Each floor has a dean. So usually in regards to any issues, any type of problems, the deans are usually there around the clock to help out. One of the floors, which is usually our 5th and 6th grade floor, it's kind of shared between Dean Flo and Dean Hughes just because it falls underneath both of their jurisdiction, but we always have someone there in regards to our leadership. So, in regards to our moral focus is a curriculum in regards to where we try to help establish a certain virtue in regards to the students, certain principles that we think are important for them to carry, not just further on into high school, but very key things that are important in day-to-day life. We also establish a contract for the students to agree on how to teach each other in the classroom and in the building. The more focus is not just something that we focus on for the month, as each month has a different focus, but it's something that we want to try and practice each day. And we try to celebrate the students who excel in displaying each one of those principles. So it's usually a way of getting them ready and also finding different ways to build a strong community. These are our moral focuses, which is compassion, courage, encouragement, gratitude, integrity, respect, self-control, wisdom, and perseverance. Now, these are just the very cute representations that we show for kindergarten, but we tried to actually establish it and put it into different ways to fit the curriculum as the students progress from K to 8th grade. The video, unfortunately, is not working as I'm having it in this presentation form, but in regards to it, our school, we very much have a strong emphasis on safety. So any parent or anyone who comes into the building, first you must get buzzed in. Only staff has key cards to be scanned into the building. If any student is late, they have to be buzzed in. They have to come through the main office, passes, make sure they find out why. Usually we try to talk to the parents to find out what's going on, just to make sure that everything is safe. There is no one who can just get into the building without identifying themselves, signing in, getting a visitor pass, or anything of that nature. And we are all trained in regards to how to make sure that it is as safe as possible. If there's any issues, we practice hold drills, fire drills, everything of that nature. This is our uniform. We are a uniform school all the way from kindergarten to 8th grade. When it comes down to usually any type of pants or slacks, it's usually always blue. But when it comes down to our shirts, our tops, it's usually a green polo for our kindergarten to second grade, gray from our 3rd grade to our 5th graders. And for 6th to 8th, it is usually a white polo or white dress shirt. We also offer blazers, cardigans of that nature as well. For the young ladies, they may definitely wear any jumpers, skirts, things of that nature when it gets to the upper grades. When it comes down to our gym uniforms, that is usually a gray sweats that we have a connection with Ideal, which I believe is on Church Avenue, where they sell the sweats that we provide for our students for gym. And in those days, students can wear that all day, but typically they are in uniform. Sometimes we will have certain prizes. So if we have perfect attendance, you may get a dress down Friday. If we're having a little competition to see who tests the best in regards to a certain grade, the whole grade may get 2-3 days where they can dress down and they can be a little comfortable. And it usually gives them a little more initiative to give it their best effort. The only thing that we definitely say is prohibited in uniforms is Crocs. We would prefer students not to do that. After school, we work with an organization named Champions. Champions usually work with our students first and forestly on homework and getting all their assignments as up to date and on the same point as possible. They do work with the students to create community, friendships, partnerships, learning how to work together. They do very much have like a little curriculum in regards to what they do as well. After school typically will run from about 3:30 to about 6 p.m. But usually we always understand sometimes things happen. It's New York City. Sometimes life can be a little hectic. We understand if we need to be here a little later to help and, wait for any parents that need it. But we also want to, Champions also works with us to see how we can further help and push students to, you know, explore the independence and work to, find out that's truly for them. Transportation, we offer free transportation to and from the school. Once you live within a 5 mile radius, we have set that up with the DOE. If your student, maybe your scholar doesn't want to take the bus, we do also provide the Omni cards as well, so students will have that. That is usually something that is set up as we are progressing to the next school year. So usually it's about 2 to 3 weeks before the 2026 school year would start. And then our open enrollment started on October 1st, and it will be ending on April 1st. We also do a lottery system, and we actually will be holding a lottery watch party where we invite some of the families to come in, enjoy some snacks, some refreshments, get to know one another, and they can absolutely watch and enjoy the lottery as it happens. Well, with that being said, that is pretty much my presentation. If anyone has any questions, I'll be more than happy to take it.
Thank you, Kadeem.
You're welcome.
At this point, if you guys have any questions for Kadeem, please feel free to raise your hand so that we can get your question answered. All right, I'm going to take that as we've had amazing presentations tonight because there's barely any questions. That means we're so clear, y'all. So I want to thank both Bremda and Kadeem for coming tonight and giving us so much more detail than I wasn't aware of, at least, that your schools offer. And thank you for the work that you're doing within our communities for our youth. So please keep it up, and we look forward to continuing to connect as we always do and supporting both our community and their family members as well. So thank you both for coming tonight. With that being said, the only other thing on our agenda is other business. So at this point, does anyone have any items for other business? All right, not seeing any. I would like to thank everyone for coming tonight. We had a jam-packed night, but I feel like it moved by so fast. Yeah, I agree, Nina. Like I was just about to say that. Great meeting. It moved super quick. A lot of information, and I just want to put one more plug in there. Next week, Wednesday, YMCA, our Youth Resource Fair, our 19th annual Youth Resource Fair. Remember the time change. It will be beginning at 3:30. If you volunteered for a role, just make sure that you are all that you come for the time that your role was assigned. If you have any questions in that time, you can reach out to myself, Eric, or directly to the office. And we want to thank you guys. Eric, did you have anything else you want to leave off before we end the meeting?
Only to say to Brenda and to Kadeen, thank you so much for being here. Very cool. I'll also just point out that I worked at a high school that had uniforms, and I really loved it. And I think that the kids, I worked at a high school, the kids hated it when they got there, but then it just levels kind of the playing field. It takes the stressor off. And we had lots of seniors at the end of the year be like, man, now I have to think about what I got to wear. It's crazy. But it's actually, working at that school made me just kind of love the uniform. Anyway, so thank you guys. Just a shout out for uniforms, I guess.
So random, Eric. I would like to say thanks everyone, and that's it. We call the meeting to end. See you all on Wednesday, 3:30 YMCA, and earlier if you volunteer for any of the volunteer roles for those times.
See you next week.